What's up, everybody? Thank you for stopping by. Today, I'm really excited because we are looking at a group I've never heard before called Apink. Apink. Blackpink. And what other pink do we have?
Blackpink.
We have Blackpink, Apink, and there's something else too. Pink something. I don't know. If I'm wrong, guys, let me know. Anyways, this is a girl pop group from South Korea, and you know it's about to be good. These are 7 members, and this is produced by BXN in the UK. I'm not too sure if that's a person or a group, but let's see what this is all about. These people have done in 4 days over 12 million views. Wow, 5,004 comments as of right now. Let's see. There's some big numbers for this group. Here we go. This is Apink. This is Love Me More. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3. I love it already. Okay, so first sound that I heard that I recognized was the Insonic SD1 version of their Rhodes bells. It's basically a generic Rhodes sound with a bit of a bell presence to it. Man, they used that in everything in the late 80s and 90s. More or less late 80s. Yeah, late 80s. That's because it was the Insonic VX1, I think, came out, and then the next version was the Insonic SD1. And the Insonic SD1, Babyface must have had a shit ton of those laying around his house because he did full records with that synthesizer, man. I recognize those sounds because my brother Miguel, when he was working, he was signed to Warner's when we were doing his record right about that time between 88 and 90. Yeah, that's kind of what he was using at that point. I think we used like the first version of the VFX, and then maybe was it 89 or 90 that the SD1 came up. But from that point, man, God, Babyface, Mariah Carey, like everybody used that. There was a signature sound. Not too many of the sounds on that board were used. It was more about that keyboard sound. And there was their version of the bloop bass, which is a Moog bass that they had on there. It was pretty nice. It was very round sounding, and they used a lot of it, especially when they mixed in a bit of an effect on it. It sounded cool. Now, why the sour face at the end of? There are some chords that are in there that don't make sense. And unfortunately, it seems like it's the very last. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to be very Teddy Riley about this and give these really lush passing chords, but somebody got a little eclectic on the bass note. And unfortunately, there are some moments here where these girls are singing when that chord, it's like it's a mixture of two chords being struck kind of at once. It kind of moves, and unfortunately it doesn't match with what they're singing. And there are times when it sounds like these girls are actually singing out of key, and that's not good, because I want to believe that the way that they were singing this, maybe they sang over a different version of this track, and then somebody went back and said, you know what, let's give it a new jack swing feel, and let's do this. And some keyboard player got in there and got real fancy, and tried to get some fancy shit in there, some church organs and or church passing chords and augmented ninths and all this stuff. And unfortunately, it's a lot. It's very busy. It kind of gives me a throwback of New Jeans, when New Jeans, the first time that I heard them, and they came out with Morning Masu? Morning Masu is what it was called.
What?
New Jeans. What was the name of the
Supernatural.
Which one was the Japanese group that I first heard?
Oh, Morning Musume?
Morning Musume. Yeah.
Why are you talking about New Jeans?
Oh, I thought it was New Jeans. It's actually the group Morning Musume, right? Okay, sorry. Morning Musume is a group from Japan, and they have that kind of retro 80s, mid 90s New Jack swing thing. And this is what they remind me of. Again, very busy. I don't know why. Like, we were lazy back then, guys. When we were doing New Jack Swing, we were very, very lazy. It was a 4-bar loop, and then you wrote around that, and then you kind of came up with the breakdown later, which was supposed to be something that would be juxtaposed to the rest of what was going on, something just to give it a little life, a little different life, and then back into it again. And all those passing chords, definitely, Teddy Riley was the king, and Chucky Booker the same. The king at coming up with those churchy passing chords. This, a little too over my head. It just sounds a little rough. However, everything else sounds great. Let's keep it. I have more to say at the end. Here we go. That. Yeah, so again, that's kind of my take on it. Hearing things in there. Oh, wait. Seems to be more. I don't know what that meant, but anyways, so all right. Hang with me, all right? Hang with me. Love the song. I don't love some of the chords in there. That's forgivable. The mix was really, really good. However, I'm going to say it like this. Sonically, the mix was good in the mastering. But I feel like if I was to take this wave and I put it into my studio and I looked at the wave, it feels like it's not completely mastered to me. We're losing a lot of low end, man. There are no subsonic tones that I've heard. and it just makes the song. Whereas if you have highs, lows, and high, mids, lows, and everything is mixed perfectly, you should be able to get a very balanced diet of sound. You know what I mean? What happens is that it becomes deficient at the bass end. So what I hear is a lot of highs and mids. I don't hear anything that's moving me as far as the bass, which is anti what we were doing back then. You understand? So I don't know if these producers are trying to be new at what they're doing to try to give it a nuance. And in the breakdown, that's what kind of how I felt, because that breakdown sets it up for your typical wee, some kind of woo, yeah, like all of the 80s samples we used to use, like all of those things. It could have definitely been used in there, but they didn't do it. Now, granted, those are samples, and it's a bitch to try to get some of those samples cleared, but you could have like remade some of those things. There's so many things that they could have done in the track itself that just kind of lends itself to a bad drum mix. Like the kick, the typical kick, and if these producers are listening, the kick that we used back then was called a mod kick, M-O-D kick. And the mod kick is found in the, give me a second, SB12. It was an SB12 drum machine that came out with the mod kick. Same with the snares. Like those kicks, those sounds were definitely coming from that box. So I feel like they kind of missed the point a little bit by using, because that kick was doing its thing, but it was so level with the snare that it almost seemed like that level wise. So it should have been a little, the kick has got to rip your head off, especially in bigger speakers. So that's about it. I love these girls. I think they're very beautiful. They can sing really, really well. I dig the concept and the direction. Hopefully, man, one of these days I would love to bring out some of my old tracks and my old New Jack Swing tracks, because I'm using the source, and that's the one thing that I see is lacking with these people that try to do the New Jack Swing. There's just certain sounds, certain rules that you have to follow, and I think that if you don't master the basics of New Jack Swing first and kind of start from where, oh yeah, I got it, let's do it your own, this is kind of what the result of that. So there's just a little bit of misunderstanding to how to mix New Jack Swing and how to program it. Other than that, sounds great. I definitely give this an A+. It's a great tune. They sound great. And yeah, we're going to see how far this goes. Now, keep in mind, these are just my opinions. The girls sound great. The lyrics were very beautiful and just meaningful and deep. So it's good. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I just think that the mixing and overall programming of the track was just off kilt just a bit. Other than that, point across, look how many views these girls have gotten. 12,482, 5,004 comments. Who in the hell am I to say anything, right? I'm just a reactor, folks. Just my opinions. Anyways, y'all, thank you for stopping by. And if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you know the next time we drop one of these videos. Great job, Apink. Let's see what the future holds for you. 2026 should be your year. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.